But before we kind of get into LLMs in detail, it's interesting to me. Just before we started recording, we were kind of talking about utopia and how
Hmm.
some technologies could enable that, assuming we avoid
Hmm.
dystopia.
Yeah.
And education seems like one of those places where
Hmm.
it's not even science fiction now to be able to say, with generative AI tools that we have available today, you
Hmm.
can be allowing anyone in the world to be getting as good an education as anybody else and tailored specifically to them.
Yep.
So this is very interesting. It's just about scaling up and providing access.
Yep.
But following on from the visual thing that we've just been talking about, I wonder how long it will be before we have generative AI systems that not only can they explain things to you like we can get with Google Gemini or GPT-4 or Claude 3 Opus, we get these amazing explanations of in natural language. We can get code printed out. We can get equations printed out. But I wonder how far off we are from a system that, in the same way that you and I like to be able to teach things, can visually create graphics
Hmm.
on the fly, custom for the user based on the situation that they're in. I hadn't had that thought before. I don't know. Does this sound interesting to
Yeah,
you?
absolutely. I hope it's soon. I mean, I think we're not that far, and I think the key is personalization. I mean, I think technology, even without the AI, the fact that we can bring education with videos and with labs and things like that, it already brings a barrier because it brings it to many places in the world and gives it to people that would not have the opportunity otherwise, right? But there's one more level with AI, which is um, the personalization level, right? Because learning, I mean, when I look at education, it's a field that has been steady for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Like everything changes, right? Like medicine changes, everything changes, but education stays the same. We still have the same methods. We sit down in the most passive possible way, look at someone doing stuff, which is kind of like going to the gym and looking at someone exercising and thinking that we're going to get bigger like that, right? Like that makes no sense. But why does
Totally.
it make sense in education? And so we have many, so education, if it's not interactive, it doesn't work. Like if you're not actively doing something, and I've learned that with language models, it's enhanced my education a lot. Now I talk a lot to it. I talk a lot to the model. Sometimes I want to understand a paper. I just put the paper there and ask it questions, and it actually picks up your way of thinking. Like I've sort of say, okay, I want to work out this example. Help me out. Ask me questions about this. Like it's very interactive. I think we're very close. Like I think we already have that. Like we can learn using a language model pretty well already, and it's getting better. So that's an aspect that I'm very optimistic about.
It's unreal for me. The experience of being able to speak to these LLMs since the release of GPT-4, it's yeah, I've
Yeah.
just yeah, that release last year, it made me exactly the kind of thing you're describing. Its ability to anticipate through, I guess,
Yep.
great RLHF training, its ability to anticipate what I am looking for with me seemingly providing not nearly enough context for it to be guessing that. And it's right on the money so often with really subtle things about what I'm looking for.
Yep.
And it was that moment of interacting with GPT-4 about a year ago now that it made me from it made me flip from being a skeptic about AGI to being optimistic about it happening very soon.
Yeah, it blew my mind when this language model started speaking so well. It really blew my mind. I knew we're gonna get there one day, but when I started asking questions and it started answering, I I, I thought, wow, that I didn't expect it to be like that so quickly.